So Andrew, I see this is a wonderful farm, wonderful place you got here. How long have you been here? How long have you been farming here?
Right, well, our family's been here 105 years and I've been here 55 years. In the past it was a mixed farm with pigs, poultry, dairy and a whole range of crops. When I was growing up it was simply a dairy farm with potatoes and cereals. We kept it nice and simple. Since the milk price crash in the year 2000, we've just been an arable farm. But now I've changed it again. Now my father's passed away. We're no longer growing cereals, we're growing potatoes, pumpkins and this miscanthus crop.
So Andrew, I see you've got a beautiful crop here, miscanthus. Can you tell us more about it?
This is miscanthus. It's an energy crop. It's a really, really simple crop to grow. It's fairly expensive to establish. You have to plant the rhizomes. They're all planted by hand on a machine, individually. This was planted 2.5 years ago. I've got a crop that's about 17 or 18 years old and it's still growing. So once you've planted it, it will continue to provide the energy crop yield every year. It's harvested in the spring, cut January, February, baled in April and May, and then taken away and used in a furnace. The above ground crop is carbon neutral. The carbon that's used to harvest it and transport it is recovered, is balanced by the carbon that the plant takes. But the big point of this crop is the carbon that's going below the ground. The below ground story is 2.35 tonnes per hectare of carbon being stored into the soil, and that will continue year after year after year. So it's this carbon being sucked back into the ground here.
So Andrew, tell us a bit more about how you prepare your soil for any sowing, planting, what methods do you use and why?
Yeah, on all our rotational crops we don't plough at all. The main reason is it saves a huge amount of fuel. I mean that's the farmer point of view, but if you don't disturb the soil and just keep and direct drill into the soil, you're keeping the soil structure, you're keeping the fungi and everything in the right place, in the right layers, rather than turning it on its head every year and having to start again. And you find that eventually the soil naturally is more open and spongy, so it's easy to drill the crop in, and we're not losing the nutrients. When you plough, you're losing nitrogen, you're releasing the carbon. So after a while, it just becomes easier and easier to direct drill. And also, you don't disturb the weeds. There's millions of weed seeds down there, and if we keep the soil solid, we're not disturbing it. This year we experimented with the pumpkins with absolute minimum tillage. We just cultivated narrow strips where the pumpkins were going, and what we got was narrow strips of weeds and no weeds in the rest of the field. So it's easier to do less. That's what we're finding. Every year we're doing less and less cultivation, and it's becoming better and better.
So Andrew, I see you got some grass in between the rows of maize in your crop here. What is happening?
Yeah, well, this is forage maize for cattle feed, and it's purposefully undersown with these strips of ryegrass in between, sown at the same time in the spring. The grass doesn't really grow much in the summer. What it does, it stabilises the soil. So if we had a summer flood, it would stop the soil running off, but its main purpose is in the winter. This will stop the soil runoff into the roads, into the ditches. But what it's doing more importantly, it's capturing the nutrients that's left over from the maize crop, and throughout the winter this will continue to grow. It'll become a big tall crop. It's capturing the nutrients, the carbon, but more importantly it's keeping the soil structure open. It's rooting down,